TV soap news and spoilers say that in the shadowed corridors of Beyond the Gates, where family secrets fester like open wounds and every decision echoes through generations, one storyline grips the soul like a vice: Naomi's unexpected pregnancy. This isn't just a subplot, it's a seismic rupture in the fabric of love, loyalty, and self-determination. Picture this: a young woman, Naomi, standing at the precipice of motherhood, her body a battlefield of hormones and heartache, while her devoted partner, Jacob, clings desperately to visions of a perfect family. The air is thick with tension, whispers of doubt, and the thunderous clash of wills. Today, we dive deep into this explosive narrative arc, unraveling whether Naomi truly decides to have an abortion, and the devastating fallout that could shatter Jacob's world. Spoiler alert, this tale of choice isn't just dramatic, it's a raw, unflinching mirror to our own lives. Buckle up, dear readers, for a journey longer than the winding paths of the Gates estate itself, as we expand every heartbeat, every tear, and every whispered plea into a symphony of emotion. It all begins in the dim glow of the Gates family kitchen, where the scent of fresh coffee mingles with the metallic tang of unspoken fears. Dani, the matriarch whose life has been a tapestry woven with threads of regret and resilience, pauses mid-sip. Her eyes, sharp as daggers honed by decades of sacrifice, lock onto Naomi. There's something off, a subtle pallor, a hesitant step, the way Naomi's hand flits protectively over her abdomen when she thinks no one is watching. Dani's not one for flights of fancy, she's a woman who's buried her own dreams under the weight of family duty. "Naomi," she says, her voice a low rumble like distant thunder, "you're glowing, but not in the happy way. Are you?" The word hangs in the air like a guillotine blade. Pregnant. Naomi's face crumples, a fortress of composure cracking under the assault. We, the devoted viewers, have seen the signs building for weeks. Flash back to that fateful night under the stars, when Naomi and Jacob surrendered to passion in the estate's hidden gazebo. It was a moment of pure, unbridled joy, fireworks exploding in their hearts amid the rustle of ancient oaks. But joy, in Beyond the Gates, is always a prelude to tragedy. Naomi's discovery came in the sterile fluorescence of a drugstore bathroom, the two pink lines on the test strip searing into her retinas like a brand. From that instant, unhappiness coiled around her like a serpent. Mornings brought waves of nausea that no ginger tea could quell, nights were haunted by visions of a future chained to cribs and sleepless vigils. She didn't want this, not now, not like this. Her dreams of traveling the world, of carving a career in art that spanned continents, evaporated like morning mist. Naomi, the free spirit who once danced barefoot on European beaches, now felt trapped in a cage of her own making. Dani presses gently, her maternal instincts overriding any boundary. "Tell me, child. I'm here." And Naomi breaks, the confession tumbling out in sobs that shake the very foundations of the house. Yes, she's pregnant. 3 months along. And no, she doesn't want to keep it. The words land like bombshells, each one exploding the fragile peace of the Gates household. Dani nods, her own memories flooding back, memories of a youth derailed by Bill's unexpected child, a pregnancy that forced her into a marriage of convenience and a life of quiet desperation. But Dani doesn't preach, she listens, her silence a balm and a warning. ## decision day dawns, Naomi's inner tempest rages. Cut to the calendar on the wall, decision day. The clinic appointment looms like a storm cloud over the horizon, its shadow swallowing the sunlight. Naomi stands before her mirror, hands trembling as she traces the faint swell of her belly. Conflict rages within her, a civil war of body and soul. On one side, the biological imperative, the flutter of life she can feel now, tiny and insistent, like a heartbeat echoing her own. On the other, the clarion call of autonomy, the fierce determination to author her own destiny. "This isn't the time," she whispers to her reflection, eyes blazing with resolve. "I won't be defined by this. Not me." Enter Jacob, the golden boy of the Gates legacy, bursting through the door with arms laden with baby books and ultrasound printouts. His face is alight with a joy so pure it borders on mania, a stark contrast to Naomi's storm-tossed demeanor. Jacob has always been the dreamer, the one who sees silver linings in thunderheads. Since learning of the pregnancy, in a moment Naomi now regrets sharing too soon, he's transformed into a whirlwind of preparation. Naomi, love. Look at this, the expectant father's handbook. And I called Aunt Clara, she's over the moon. We'll have playdates with little Timmy by summer. His laughter fills the room, oblivious to the ice in her veins. But Naomi is steel now, forged in the fires of her convictions. She doesn't want to raise this child, not in the chaos of the Gates family feuds, not when her art career is on the cusp of breakthrough, not when every fiber of her screams for freedom. Jacob, she says, her voice steady as a surgeon's scalpel, I can't do this. I won't. The words slice through his euphoria, leaving him staggered, as if punched by an invisible fist. ## Jacob's desperate plea, a symphony of promises and tears. What follows is beyond the Gates at its most visceral, a scene so charged it could power the estate's generators for a year. Jacob drops to his knees, clutching Naomi's hands, his eyes pools of desperation. Please, Naomi. Think of us, of our family. We can make it work. I've crunched the numbers, with my inheritance from Grandpa Elias, plus the Gates Trust Fund, we'll have nannies, tutors, the works. Remember Aunt Lydia? She raised 3 kids solo after Uncle Mort died, said it was the best thing she ever did. His voice cracks, rising in pitch as panic claws at his throat. He paints vivid pictures, each more intoxicating than the last. Envision the nursery in the east wing, walls painted sky blue, a crib carved from the same oak as the gazebo where they conceived this life. We'll travel with the baby, Paris in spring, Tokyo for cherry blossoms. I'll cut back hours at the firm, we'll hire help. Resources aren't the issue, love. Love is. Tears streamed down his face, hot and unrelenting, soaking the hem of her dress. Jacob, the unbreakable optimist, is breaking, shattering into 1,000 pieces before her eyes. He pulls out a sonogram photo, pressing it to her belly like a talisman. Feel that? That's our miracle. Don't throw it away. Naomi's resolve wavers for a heartbeat. Jacob's passion is a tidal wave, threatening to drown her doubts. She remembers their first date, the picnic by the lake, his laughter chasing away her loneliness. But then reality crashes in, the sacrifices. Late-night sketching instead of soothing cries, galleries in New York instead of PTA meetings. No, Jacob, she whispers, pulling away. This is my body, my path. I choose me. The room falls silent, save for his ragged breaths, a chasm opening between them, wider than the Gates' infamous moat. ## Danny's shadowed wisdom, echoes of a life sacrificed. Enter Danny, the Greek chorus of this tragedy, slipping into the room like a ghost from her own past. She's seen this play before, starring herself, decades ago. Bill, her husband, had been Jacob's mirror, all promises and plans, blind to the toll. Danny sacrificed her journalism dreams for Bill's banking career, for the children who followed like ducklings. I thought it was noble, she confesses later to Naomi in the garden, under the moon's judgmental gaze. But noble is just a pretty word for trapped. I woke up at 50 wondering who I was without them. Now, Danny's advice is a lifeline laced with poison. Over steaming mugs of chamomile, she leans in, eyes fierce. Listen to me, Naomi. Do the right thing for yourself. Not for Jacob's fairy tale, not for family whispers, not for society's script. I did the right thing for Bill, and lost my soul. Bill's gone now, chasing mistresses in Monaco, while I'm here, holding the pieces. Don't repeat my mistakes. Choose you. Her words are daggers, precise and piercing, empowering Naomi even as they stir guilt's murky waters. Dani's reflection isn't just advice, it's a cautionary epic, a novel of regrets spanning 30 years. She recounts sleepless nights rocking colicky babies, missed promotions, the slow erosion of passion into routine. Motherhood is a crown of thorns, darling, beautiful, but it bleeds you dry if you're not ready. Naomi absorbs it all, her conflict crystallizing into diamond-hard determination. Dani's story isn't judgment, it's liberation, a dramatic torch passed from one woman to another across the generations. And so, decision day arrives. The clinic is a sterile cathedral of choices, fluorescent lights buzzing like accusatory bees. Naomi walks in alone, Jacob barred by her iron will, pacing the estate like a caged lion. The procedure is swift, clinical, a whisper of medication, a moment of cramping pain that pales against the emotional deluge. But oh, the aftermath. Naomi emerges changed, lighter yet hollow, a phoenix risen from self-imposed ashes. Jacob awaits at home, hope flickering like a candle in gale winds. "Well?" he asks, voice trembling. Her nod, the silent confirmation, extinguishes it. Devastation crashes over him like a tsunami. He collapses, sobs racking his frame, accusations flying like shrapnel. "You killed our child. Our future. How could you?" The rift is cataclysmic, a grand canyon of grief carving through their love. Jacob storms out into the night, wandering the gate's fog-shrouded grounds, howling at the stars. Naomi retreats to her studio, brush in hand, painting abstracts of blood-red freedom amid tears that blur the canvas. The emotional repercussions ripple outward, tsunami style. Dani consoles Naomi, but even she feels the fracture. Jacob's glare accuses her of poisoning the well. Family dinners become battlegrounds, silverware clatters like gunfire, silences stretch into eternities. Jacob spirals, drowning sorrows in whiskey, alienating friends, his once bright eyes dulled to ash. Whispers spread through the gate's social circle, scandal. Betrayal. Will they reconcile, or will this be the fracture that topples the dynasty? Zoom out, and this isn't just Naomi and Jacob's story, it's beyond the gate's magnum opus on choice. Flashbacks intercut, Dani's own hidden abortion in the 80s, buried under layers of propriety, and Clara's shotgun wedding that birthed a legacy of resentment. Each thread weaves a dramatic mosaic, illustrating how one woman's decision echoes through time. Naomi's choice empowers the younger generation. Cousin Lila, watching wide-eyed, vows her own path. But it devastates Jacob, forcing a hero's journey into therapy, self-discovery, and perhaps, forgiveness. Dramatically, the show amplifies stakes. Leaked clinic photos spark tabloid frenzy. Jacob's vengeful ex, Vanessa, exploits the rift to seduce him back. Naomi's art explodes in popularity, ironic fame from pain, while Jacob founds a pro-life charity, their opposing crusades clashing in epic courtroom drama, teased for season 3. So, faithful fans, is Naomi's abortion a bold strike for autonomy or a tragic betrayal of love? Does Jacob's devastation justify reconciliation, or should Naomi run free? Weigh in below, your theories could shape fanfic gold. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Beyond the Gates updates and news, so subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.